at the start, it needed him and I real dirty in terms
as
of
dirty as it
our
gets.
hands dirty in making phone calls. You know, there's been so many sleepless nights. But I actually think in 2022, but also 2021 and going back, you know, you've been with us for 8 years. Bobby's now coming up to 3 or 4 years. Where it's at now, you say 60 agents, you say $500 million in volume. There's no way we would have been able to do that without the likes of yourself, Laura, right, without the likes of Bobby. Obviously, our 60, and, you know, we got our Tyler Ty Walburns of the world as well, who have really just taken ownership. Like, for us to have thought that we were going to, like, we know, right, like 10 years ago, there's no way we even envisioned having guys like you and girls like you. So you know what I mean? Like, it was like, can we just get out of this?
Let me shed some light on how that happens.
Yeah.
So it's me and Jazz.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing $3 million a year. You add Alora, which is a duplicate of Jazz,
yeah,
VP of sales. So she takes process, it puts all her brain trust into the company, and that doubles. You add a Simeon, meaning a Bobby, who took my role, 80% of my role, and now I'm free to soar in business development.
Yep.
You double that too. So we went from 30 to 60.
Well, and people always say, how do you scale?
So, but this is it. So you have to find people who not only you trust, it's not about trust, it's about the right person, you trusting the right person, them having the skill. You didn't create Laura, you influenced Laura, but Laura had what she had in her.
Yeah, I think it's so important because you have to give up control. Like, you guys also
100%.
had your hands in everything. You were doing every facet of the business yourselves. And then all of a sudden to bring on someone, which is what everyone always says, like, I just need people, but actually handing over the work. We were talking about this morning, like, giving something up is very hard to do when you've been doing it your whole life.
Laura was in the room when me and Jez were screaming at each other, who's going to do this, who's going to do that? No, you have to let go of this and you have to let go of that.
Yeah.
And you define clean boundaries that if you're used to doing everything yourself, like we were, I remember me being at Red Lobster in North York on Yonge Street. Him being in the West End, you were in High Park at Nav's place.
Yep, Navraj's place. Yeah,
That night,
we were in an offer for his place.
I just will never forget it.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was in Willowdale doing, I don't know, a 2.2 or a $2.8 million bungalow, and it was in competition. This is a hard Persian neighborhood, hard Chinese neighborhood, and the Chinese are fighting the Persians, and there's agents everywhere, and it's just a gong show. And we had to retire to Red Lobster to cool the clients down.
Yeah.
The clients were like English, hard English. So they're like overwhelmed by the nonsense of all the immigrants. I'm trying to stick in the middle of the whole thing. And you know how that goes.
Yeah, obviously.
And this is 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And this is, let's go back 7 years.
No, this is longer, brother. This is like a decade ago. Because Alto wasn't with us. None of
we had our first kids.
Yes.
I remember Sophia. I hadn't seen my daughter. We left the home at 7 because we would come and work out in the morning. We hadn't seen our families. Long day, dragged out day. And I'm in North York and he's over there. And I ended up winning. I said, what'd you do over there? And he ended up winning. And like, we literally almost cried. I can almost cry right now. Because those are the types of moments that you can never, when he says getting dirty, there is no more grind past working till 1 a.m, going home just to get yelled at by your wife, only to make up
Big
for
shout
something.
out to CPAP, Sony, John, and all our significant others. We have Laura as well, Bobby's significant other, not this Laura, different Laura. We always have to do that.
But that's just it. So like those are the moments like when you're building that, I'm sorry, like we are the dishwasher, the cook, the waitress, the GM, the owner. How many hats can you wear in a day?
People think it's so glamorous, right? And like you have people who are like, I just can't wait to be doing what you guys are doing. But the best parts of what we've ever done were those times where we were grimy, like we were just getting it done, and you stayed late and you worked. We used to do launches where we worked for 14 days straight. Like I was like near tears. Like I was like, I haven't showered in 2 days.
Well, that's
like,
funny.
This shit's getting crazy. But like now that I'm out of it and looking back, like I'm so grateful for those moments because those are the things that make you really appreciate it.
They shaped you. Yeah. And that's how you know you can now give direction. When somebody says, I can't do that, you're like, actually you can.
You don't want to.
You don't want to, or you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
but you know the difference as a result of the grind.